Hey, everybody. Welcome to the afternoon edition of Day in the Life of an Inc. 5000 Marketing Agency, Day 5. So let's talk about what happened today. Number one, Carl, one of our business development reps, and I had an enrollment conversation with a registered investment advisory firm looking at our Dream 50 process. Went well. Turns out CEO and marketing person needed to be on that call and weren't. So we now have to do one more call. Hopefully they said the guy in charge of the call, not in charge of the whole company. It said, hey, we want to make a decision before October 1st. You're one of the top few in the running. So we are hoping to be the one that wins the contract, but we got to set up one more call. Lesson, it is Carl even did the right thing and asked to what other decision makers need to be on the call when Seth comes on the call and scheduled them to be on, but they didn't come. They had some issue or something that prevented them from coming on. So you should always ask to have all the decision makers on the call, which he did. They just didn't show. That can't really do much about other than emailing them and reminding them to show up, but he did ask. I've learned that lesson before, and I've even had it be an interesting situation. We had a supplement company that was referred to us where we met with Carl, did the first meeting with the person. Carl did the second meeting with the person. I was brought in on the third meeting. The person said on both of the previous two calls, I'm in charge of all the marketing decisions, marketing budget. It is solely up to me. I do my call where we get to price, which Carl has teased them with in terms of a range. And then, so they're not totally shocked. And then it got to be, now our CEO and this person need to approve it and they need to be on the call. I wanted to call her out on it and go, I watched you on camera twice say, no, I'm the only one who needs to decide. And now all of a sudden other people need to decide, which drives me crazy. So if you're a buyer of something, don't do that. Don't be the person who says, I will make the only decision and then go, no, I need approval from somebody else. Because as a salesperson, it drives us crazy. Had an RIA, Registered Investment Advisory Podcast interview with a gentleman who is an EOS implementer, specifically in the financial services sector. So that was really cool, really interesting. Learned some cool lessons there. If you're in financial services, check out that podcast episode when it airs. His name is Jamie Cornelson. Then had highlight of my day, which I didn't know was going to be the highlight of my day. Had an amazing interview with Mignon Francois. And this is a woman who 6 kids, broken marriage, power out in her house, crying because her daughter wants to go on a PTA field trip and she doesn't have the $25 to pay for the field trip. She was literally down to her last $5. Neighbor asked her to bake some cupcakes for her because she doesn't have time to bake cupcakes. She literally had to use the neighbor's kitchen because she had no power and no stove. So she bakes some cupcakes, sells the cupcakes. Her $5 turns into $60. People really like her cupcakes. So she takes the $60. She makes a whole lot more cupcakes, decides to sell the cupcakes herself, turns the $60 into $600, thinks, wow, people really like these cupcakes. That $5 has turned into a $10 million cupcake empire. She has 2 physical locations. She is opening 2 more physical locations and obviously sells on e-commerce online on a website, the Cupcake Collection. The book is made from scratch. Mignon Francois. I bought it on Amazon today and I'm ordering cupcakes and cakes for my wife and kids tonight as soon as they pick flavors. So such an inspiring journey for her. Literally like power out in the dark, can't pay the utility bill, can't pay PTA, literally down to last $5. Turns it into a $10 million empire. That is absolutely incredible. I think I had a couple writer downers from her. And I told her I'm transcribing that episode because there were so many golden nuggets in it. I think one of my favorites, if I get this right, was all you have is all you need to get from where you are to where you want to be. I mean, you got no excuse. I mean, she literally had $5 and that was it. Like she technically, I guess she had $5 more than my brother-in-law when he wrote the book, The $4 Sandwich. She was drowning in debt. Like, that's just such an inspiration. Like, you got no excuse, right? If she can go from can't pay the power bill, all I have is $5 in my wallet and that's it, to go, which I used to go buy cupcake supplies and turned it into $10 million. You've got nothing stopping you, except your story about why you can't. And I can't wait to get her book. I gonna have to talk to her PR rep who booked her on her show because I can get the book ahead of time. Normally they send me the book and then I would have read it and would have had even better questions. But she's an amazing lady. I can't wait for you to watch that podcast interview with Mignon Francois. Yes, I am pronouncing her name right. I asked. Then I had another podcast interview with Oren Klopper. He runs a managed services IT firm, very interesting business model where they're turning IT into a profit center for companies that hire them, which I thought it was just an expense. I didn't know it could be a profit center. So that's awesome. And I've got one more podcast left. I spent about an hour and a half recording mini interviews with my longtime friend and client, Ted Thomas, who is the king of tax lien and tax deed investing. Absolutely brilliant. So excited. Getting me back into it. I took his course. I attempted to go get some tax liens in the last Erie County auction before COVID, but I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't bring enough cash. I didn't bring enough money orders, but learned a lot. Now super excited to get back into it and build up another stream of revenue. And I'll get those videos out to everybody watching as we get those edited, because Ted has agreed, which is awesome, to do a training for us in October, like an all day awesome seminar, which stay tuned. You'll hear about that. And I got one more podcast to go with Ryan Englund from Core Matters. I'm recording this now before the podcast instead of after the podcast, because after the podcast, I'm going to attempt to get home for dinner. And I believe my daughter has cheer tonight. So I'm going to get home, have time to eat before cheer. So I'm recording this now. Tune in tomorrow to find out how the Ryan Englund podcast went and everything that's going to happen tomorrow. Hey, if you are enjoying, and I have gotten, thank you all for the number of emails and messages I've gotten saying, hey, I really like your day in the life. It's really cool. I've gotten some stuff from people going, I see how busy you are. I appreciate the shout outs and the feedback. Like it, comment, share it, please. The shares are the most important. The shares help the algorithms on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this. Show it to more people. So let's help other entrepreneurs. Let's help other agency owners by sharing this with them. Thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.